Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about how I got to where I am today, hoping this can provide you with some encouragement wherever you are in your journey. And what I want you to learn from my story is threefold. You don't need a computer science degree or deep coding experience to be technical or even be around engineering for that matter. Finding your passion is BS, and good luck is when hard work meets opportunity. If you want to know more, then get comfy because this is a long video, but might just give you the boost in confidence you need. As you know, I'm a developer advocate at Google, which is never where I'd expect to be. To say the least, I've had an interesting path to where I am today. So let's rewind. Growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian or a forensic scientist. And it's safe to say that neither of those things happened. Even though I still love animals today, I also hate the idea of having to see dead bodies. In college, I couldn't even decide on my major, so I went with communication studies because it was a competitive major. I loved and was good at communication, and I was interested in the entertainment industry. I also minored in digital humanities because tech was still a huge interest of mine, but I also didn't want to commit to computer science. DH was a great way to contextualize technology and the humanities space. And so I ended up doing research on social media analytics, and I studied augmented reality and its impact on society. I also ended up doing a variety of internships between tech, a YouTube dance channel, and the music industry as a community manager, production assistant, and analytics intern. One thing that surfaced was that I liked tech and I liked entertainment and production, but I was still very undecided on a career path. As college ended, I attended literally every career fair, but nothing really stood out as interesting to me. I applied to Disney, Zillow, Venmo, Hulu. Sounded great, but really didn't know what I'd be signing up for. So when I saw Oracle at a career fair, I recognized it and applied to be a sales engineer, not really knowing much about it except that it was a technical consultant. And between my communications and DH experience, I got the job. My parents were super happy about that. It was a stable tech company, and what more could an Asian parent want, right? Going into it though, I really knew nothing about the tech nor the industry. So I was pretty nervous to start, but I started with a group of college grads, so that made the transition a lot easier. And in my first years, I gave it my all. I learned about the tech and I learned how to work in the B2B tech space. It turns out I was half decent at it. And after a year and a half, I discovered a new team at Oracle that helped implement database and compute products for customers, the customer success team. Why did I make that move? I could sense that cloud tech was becoming a force in the market. This was around 2016. And really, I just wanted to change. That gave me even more hands-on technical and customer-facing experience. But after a year of that, I started to feel like I needed my next step. I was beginning to obsess over this idea of find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. It was so frustrating. I had no idea what my passion really was, and I was only 23 at the time, but I just felt this need to map out my life. I was young, I had only been working a couple of years, and I still remember commiserating with my coworker Arthur about what our passion job might be. For him, it was trying to start filming travel documentaries. For me, I thought about maybe creating videos about tech, like as an anchor or on broadcast TV, but it seemed so undefined to me. I didn't know anyone at the time who did it, and creating YouTube videos was just flat out daunting to me. So I applied to grad school, seemed like a logical next step since everybody else was doing it at the time, and I ended up going for Stanford's digital journalism program. But after the GRE and writing my personal statement, I suddenly realized I was applying for the wrong reasons. Not because it would help my career, but because I was doing it just to feel like I was progressing according to what everybody else was doing. So I trusted my intuition and I gave up on the effort. But I also didn't let that stop me from attempting new things. So I applied to Google a few times, as a receptionist even, to get my foot in the door. And then I got rejected to all of them. After 3 years at Oracle, I decided I want to go take some time off to travel. At which point, I've now accumulated 3 years of cloud tech experience. And next thing I know, I'm getting an email from Google, yes, Google, asking if I was interested in a sales rep position. But it wasn't the position that I wanted nor was excited about. But I decided to go through the interview process so I could really see what it was like, and I figured it would be a valuable experience to help me in the future either way. I ended up getting the offer, and now I had to make the decision of whether I wanted to accept. Google one of my dream companies, was at my doorstep, but not for the position I wanted. So I made the difficult decision to say no. I went with my intuition again. As I continued to prep for my world travel, a month later, Google reaches back out again for a sales engineer position, the role that I had been doing. Not only was the first interview round not a waste, but I was able to focus and prepare even harder for the technical interviews. I then started at Google in 2017 and felt a newfound excitement for the role. I still dreamed about doing more video work, wasn't sure if that was really my passion, but it was interesting to me, so I kept it in the back of my mind. I remember watching Googlers in videos to study for my interviews and thought, wow, that would be such an ideal job. But instead of thinking I could never make that happen, I asked myself, how can I make that happen? It didn't take long because in the first few weeks, I met another sales engineer who started a YouTube channel on Google Cloud and asked me if I was interested in helping. Of course, I jumped at the opportunity and together we started to build this channel up. It was very scrappy work with webcams and our own editing, and I still remember bouncing from offices to lounges to game rooms, trying to find quiet space to record. I had a great time doing that, and I didn't really know what it would lead to, but I knew it was something I enjoyed and could get some eyes on. The videos eventually started to get noticed internally after 6 months. One thing led to another, and we were given funding to produce in a professional studio by the engineering side, aka developer relations. Within another 6 months, my work continued to bubble up, and because of my product and on-camera experience, I was asked to host several live events, including our annual conference, Google Cloud Next. Of course, I said yes because to me, that was it. This was my foot in the door into the world of video production, hosting, and technology. I ended up interviewing the director of DevRel. We had a really great conversation, and he mentioned one of his direct reports wanted to start a team dedicated to creating online content for developers. This was right around the time I started to feel like I wanted to make a change out of my sales engineering team. And the timing couldn't have been better. Somebody gave me great advice to take opportunities that both scare and excite you, and this one felt exactly that. To be honest, I was scared as hell of joining DevRel. I still didn't have any traditional developer experience and really had no intention of joining an even more technical department. But I saw this as a really exciting challenge. How could I say no to a brand new team that I was going to help build that carved a niche for video creators about technology? I knew it would give me more opportunities to build my brand and thread storytelling, video, and technology together. It's since been a couple years, and I've now produced over 200 videos, podcasts, and live talks for Google Cloud, and I've had some incredible experiences researching, writing, and leading some high-profile projects with amazing collaborators. Sure, I still feel like I have so much to learn, and being around developers continues to push me. But I also know I bring a very diverse skill set to the table, and I think the industry just needs more of that. People with different backgrounds who don't necessarily have a CS degree. Plus, I might change my career path again and end up doing broadcast next. And I fully believe I could end up again in a role that doesn't even exist yet. So I know that was a super long story, but I want you to walk away from this with a few things. 1, follow your intuition. Saying no to things is okay, like how I said no to an offer when it just didn't feel right to me. 2, trying to make a 5-year plan to find your passion is kind of a waste. I led myself to a position that never existed before, a niche that later became a passion to me. Passion might not be something you can find, but something you can gain through increased effort. And don't get me wrong, creating a plan for yourself is great, but don't get bogged down by it and obsess over the idea of finding your passion like I did. Number 3, don't ask yourself why you can't get something to happen, but how you can make that happen. With hard work, curiosity, and saying yes to opportunities that excite and challenge you, you're going to find that preparation and opportunity will give you luck, and that luck will open doors for you. Number 4, be driven to learn. When imposter syndrome gets you, like it does for me all the time, use that to inspire you to learn and take on bigger challenges. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort will allow you to grow. To think that I made it into DevRel when I used to think the most I could get was a receptionist position just proves that failure is an opportunity to start again. You only truly fail when you stop trying. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below on topics you'd like me to cover and your own personal stories. This is Stuff You Should Know. Until next time, peace.